Alright, is Varg gonna be a help or a hindrance to me? Ugh. When I'm able to breathe again, I open my eyes and see that I am back at the palace. Did Parfait transport us? I become aware that Varg still has his hands on my shoulders, and I wrench free from his grip.
Strange that your friends would actually send you back here with me. Seems like they need you to retrieve something from the palace.
Varg reaches out and snatches his cane from my hands. Oh.
I'm not letting you leave the palace again, Princess.
The palace is eerily silent, and it is as if none of the chaos that just transpired ever happened. Like it was all a dream. I ignore Varg and walk back through the gates as I suffocate the seething turmoil inside of me. Just try and stop me. Ooh, Lucette. I slam my bedroom door behind me and lock it. It's only been a few hours since I was here. Since Jurian and Garland. I close my eyes and will the memories away. I guess Garland's still dead in the tunnels down below. Ugh. Now is not the time. I must keep my promise to Parfait. I begin to search through my drawers. I could have sworn that this is the last place I saw Neverland and Tinkerbell. There it is. Ah, there's the key. Tinkerbell, an elaborate golden key, is exactly where I remember leaving it. I place it carefully underneath my lamp so as to keep it hidden from sight. But where's Neverland? I nearly turn my room upside down looking for it, but I never find the golden box. Shoot, Mom must have taken it again. Well, this is interesting, because we already know how to break Waltz's curse before we even got to his root. It should be here. Why isn't it here? My body is heavy after all that happened today, and soon I find myself collapse on my bed. It'll be fine. I have until midnight tomorrow to find it. I'll continue looking in the morning. I wouldn't be able to sleep. My sleep is broken and disjointed, so when dawn comes filtering through my windows, I'm already half awake. I pull myself out of bed and rub at my eyes. I need to find Neverland. I retrieve Tinkerbell from where I'd hidden it and slip the key into my pocket. Then, with renewed determination, I continue my search. Why isn't it here? It had been right next to Tinkerbell. I feel I would remember had I moved it. But I did drop Neverland months ago, didn't I? I'd been meaning to get it fixed, but I always forgot. You broke it? But it's not here. That means someone must have taken it. But who? Would Mother or Mithras have taken it? Could Varg somehow have gotten into our room before we did? Where should I look? Throne room or the dining hall? I mean, if you're gonna hide something like that, I don't feel like the dining hall would make any sense. I'll try the throne room, I guess. I'm not entirely sure. Thankfully, when I get to the throne room, it is empty. But where do I even begin to look? I was like, maybe the throne? Out of the corner of my eye, I notice something sparkle from the throne. I rush toward the throne and am unable to believe my dumb luck. Wow, that was very easy. Too easy. The box is definitely there, sitting right in front of me. I found it! But why is it just sitting here? Something feels off. If it isn't my disobedient daughter. I reach out and snatch Neverland to hold it to my chest. I have to keep Neverland and Tinkerbell safe. Okay, this was a good choice for Fritz. No matter what. I'm glad to see one of my servants is capable. Still, I wonder why Varg did not report his success in retrieving you. Varg. Varg, come over to my side. Varg did not tell her? I shall have a word with that cur. Mother walks toward me. I was not amused when you left the palace, Lucette, but I thought that sooner or later Faye would send you here to retrieve something. You were a very good girl for keeping that box safe, as I told you to. But I see it was a mistake to leave it here while I was attending to Mithras's reports. I clutched Neverland tighter. Yeah, that was kind of dumb, Mom. This does not belong to you. Mother's voice is ice cold when she speaks. Oh. You hurt me so much last night. I hope you're not planning on leaving me again. I know you're hurting too, dearest one. I know you want to stay here with me. Suddenly I can see the mother from my memories, the one that had held me close and sung me to sleep at night. If Faye hadn't interfered, you would be so much happier. Faye? Once upon a time, she was a dear friend. We were like sisters until she betrayed me. She is no doubt going by a different name to hide her true nature from you. I gotta say, these fairies and witches are so smart. Like, Myth changing his name to Mythros, and Faye changing her name to Parfait. Like, you'd never see the connection between the two. Never. Genius. But you now know. You know that she is pulling you from your birthright. You were happier when you could not remember, weren't you? What? Oh, my darling. Please don't do this. Don't remove my memories again. I will hurt you. Mother reaches for me, and I cannot move as she sets a hand on my cheek. I have only ever wanted to protect you, Lucette. I have only ever wanted the best for you. Mother gently runs a hand through my hair. I sacrificed so much so that my daughter could be a crown princess. I did not want to erase your memories, but I knew how much it would hurt you if you knew my true nature. And I knew how sad you would be if you knew just how much your father did not love us, either of us. And all because of his ridiculous love for that wretched harlot and her whelps. The very same commoner he married after I was gone, the woman he sought to marry from the start. Ophelia? The king has loved Ophelia for so long? Isn't that unbelievable? That he was still so loyal to her even after he had me? I should have made good on my threat and just killed her, regardless of whether Gennaro did as I demanded. Ah, but he has always hated witches. That is why he is so cruel to you, why he was so cruel to both of us. Dearest one, we only have each other. So it was, and so it will be. I am the only one that will never hurt you, the only one you ever need to love and obey. Your longing for anyone else, your memories of anyone else, they are all unnecessary. Now be a good girl and listen to Mother. Running is not... She's just going to close the doors in my face, and that's that. I refuse to listen to you. I flinch away from Mother's reaching hand. Mother hurt the king. She hurt so many people. She killed Garland. No. What did you say to me? I cannot let her hurt anyone else. No. Varg, where are you? Come and back me up, man. Mother's eyes glitter as light begins to collect in her palms. Oh boy. I can only bear your disobedience for so long, Lucette. It seems you require disciplining. Mother raises her hands, the light reflecting the cruelty in her gaze that I am now too familiar with. Knowing I couldn't outrun her, I turn my back and hold Neverland to my chest. I must protect Neverland. The air crackles and I brace myself for whatever Mother might unleash. I feel a hand on my back and then I am pushed away. I fall down on the ground hard. Fuck. What was that? No, Delora, hey! Wow. Thank you, real mom, for coming to my aid. You. Did you miss me? Delora. How did you get in here? I had some help. Princess. Fritz? Fritz! You're here! I can't believe it! How did you win? Fritz runs toward me and holds out his hand to help me up. Fritz, I thought I'd lost you. It is only for a second, but he pulls me close to him in a hug. Aw. I would never leave you. Fritz's arms tighten around me briefly before he releases me. We both turn to face Mother. You are going to hurt her. Your own daughter. This is no concern of yours. And even if it was, what could you hope to achieve? You are so much weaker than the wolf. So much weaker than Varg. Fritz's body stiffens.
Even now you only cling to a shred of control. Tell me, Sir Fitzgerald, how much longer until you are completely erased?
He was strong enough to resist Varg, so much so that he was able to get me in here past your guards and your barriers. I think that makes Fritz plenty strong.
I do not recall giving the traitor permission to speak. Do not think I've forgotten how you betrayed me, Delora.
I haven't forgotten anything either, Hildir. Lorea was only a child.
Her fate was entirely your doing.
Lorea? Who are you talking about?
Oh! Oh! Ah!
My heart! No! Why are these roots getting progressively sadder? Lorea was my daughter. I've never heard Delora speak of a child. I'd always opposed Hildir's actions. I disagreed with her creation of the Fairytale Curse from the beginning. But when I voiced my opinions out loud, she targeted my daughter. She killed her in front of me. Suddenly everything in the room is still. The two women glare at each other, but neither one of them moves.
You were not there when our kind were being hunted and slaughtered like animals in their own homes. I am the Tenebrae bearer. I felt each of their deaths like they were my own. Retribution was necessary, but you, being so holy and so good. It took little Lorea's death for you to understand the anguish of our brethren, to comprehend my anguish. I would not have killed her if you were not so blind.
She was only 10!
And she suffered for your weakness.
Delora holds out her arm and sweeps it across the room, lightning traveling up her arm. Fritz tugs me around one of the columns and then presses my back into the coolness of the pillar. He holds himself against me, acting as a shield. Don't move. The ground shakes as Delora releases her spell.
You think you can defeat me when you haven't even been training? How foolish.
Please, I have no intention of defeating you. Fritz!
Cover your ears, princess.
Too confused to question him, I obey. I hear the sound of lightning crackling in the air, followed by an explosion. The column comes crashing down into the other side of the room. Time to go. Fritz's hand tightens around mine. We run out of the throne room with Delora as Mother's screech sounds through the room behind us. Ah!
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm all right. I'm just so glad you're here.
Ugh.
See, what did I tell you? What are you talking about? Your knight here was scared that you wouldn't want to see him anymore after what happened yesterday. Fritz's fingers tighten over my own.
If only I was strong enough to fight Varg, I could have...
It wasn't your fault, Fritz. But what matters is that you are here now. She's smiling! Take it, man! Take it! Fritz looks at me and smiles. How did you know where I would be? Intuition.
And magic.
Well, yes, and magic. Do you have Tinkerbell? I hold Neverland in one hand as I reach with my other to search for the key in my pocket. Thankfully, my fingers still brush against the cool metal. It's in my pocket. Good. Very good. Whatever happens, you must get Neverland and Tinkerbell to the Marchen. Okay? I nod my head. That's a good girl. Parfait said to be here at midnight. What time is it?
We're too early.
Sometimes Parfait is early too. Looks like tonight is not one of those nights, though. It looks like my coming early was both a blessing and a setback.
She is using the name Parfait. How sweet.
Fritz steps in front of me as Mother reappears in front of us. Hey. Are you gonna transform?
Stay behind me.
Fritz!
I would never forgive myself if you got hurt. Please, stay behind me.
Fritz smiles gently at me and my chest aches at the sight.
Everything will be all right. I promise. I promise I'll protect you.
I know you will. Fritz, Lucette must make it out at all costs. I do not like the sound of that.
And you must understand why I cannot let you take my daughter from me.
Oh, you took mine. Delora's hands begin to glow.
Perhaps this time Lucette shall watch as you die, Delora.
No! Well, you can try and kill me, but your chances are slim. I have a very good knight with me, and I think he likes me more than he likes you.
That can be remedied.
Mother flicks her wrists. Delora holds out her own hand as if to prepare for the impact of a spell, but the magic never comes. Mother's not aiming for Delora. No, she's getting Varg back. Ugh. With a gasp, Fritz drops his sword and falls to his knees. Fritz!
Come along, Varg.
I won't let you.
That's when I realize that Mother is calling for Varg. Her hand twists in the air, manipulating Fritz's body to copy its movements. His body writhes and turns as he struggles to remain himself.
Now.
No, Fritz!
Princess. I'm sorry, but I can't.
Fritz looks at me one last time before the familiar darkness envelops his body. Oh no. Fritz!
Now, Varg, be a good dog and get Lucette back to her room.
When Varg appears, he is standing absolutely still, his eyes surveying everything calmly. There is an intensity to them, but it is sharp and contained. I flinch back from Varg's bright eyes. No.
Varg.
Varg! my heart.
You are going to hurt her.
Pardon?
I don't intend to obey someone who would hurt the princess.
Mother hisses in annoyance.
I do not know how you inspire such loyalty, Lucette, but it is very inconvenient.
Mother flicks her wrists and a responding light flares out from behind her. Did you grow your arm back? My queen. Great. Reinforcements.
I order you to restrain your pet, Mithros.
At once, my queen. Mithros extends his hand toward Varg, and the minute he does, Varg's body stiffens and he grits his teeth. I always make sure to have control over any of my creations. This is not going as planned. You had a plan?
Now, my darling.
Ooh. My hands shake and Neverland nearly tumbles from my hands as I struggle not to collapse.
Since you have become so tainted by the thoughts these people have put into your head, I shall have to start all over again. But don't be afraid. Cleansing your memories will not hurt. And when you wake, you will be my daughter again, my dearest one.
Oh gosh, Mother reaches out her hand toward me. Every fiber of my being screams at me to move, but my feet are heavy and I'm shaking so hard I cannot stand straight. I do not want to forget anything or anyone anymore. Oh, it's midnight. Behind me, the clock tower begins to chime. Not on my watch! I approve of this pun. Delora quickly runs in front of me and casts a protective shield. Delora, you can't. I will not let her erase any of your memories, Lucette. I brace myself for impact, and I feel the ground shudder as Mother's spell comes in contact with Delora's shield. Oof, a loud crack emanates from Delora's shield as it begins to crack. An offensive spell? You're going to kill your own dog. Delora's words fade when we see another spell coming toward us. I hear a low laugh rise from Mother's throat.
Goodbye, Delora.
Lucette, run! Delora! I cough as clouds of smoke slowly fade away after the impact. My whole body feels as hollow as ice as I gaze at the sight before me. Delora's body lies on the floor in front of me, unmoving. I collapse to the ground, my vision blurry as I stare numbly at Delora's limp figure. No, this cannot be! I reach out to touch her and sharply inhale when I feel how cold and clammy her skin is. No, not Delora, too. No! Delora!
Always conjure another shield after being hit by a powerful spell. Have you forgotten your lessons, traitor? Now she can finally reunite with her daughter.
Neverland tumbles from my grasp as I grab Delora's arm to shake her. No, Delora, please! She's still breathing. She can be saved. She cannot die like this. A bright light appears before me, and suddenly, Parfait is standing right in front of me.
Hildur, what have you done? Faye, it's been a while.
Parfait addresses me without looking back.
Princess, do you have Neverland?
Yes. I reach blindly for Neverland with one hand as I keep the other on Delora's arm. A warm hand settles on my shoulders. The touch is comforting and familiar.
Have faith, Princess.
I will not allow you to leave, Fairy. Mithras casts his magic, but Parfait easily deflects it. She moves to cast a spell in retaliation, but doubles over as soon as the spell flares out around her.
You are fading, Faye. The Lucis itself is fading with you.
My eyes lock with Varg's, and for a moment I can see Fritz through him. I see his lips move, but whatever words he speaks to me are mute. He shakes his head. Light begins to engulf me, and I see nothing apart from Delora's pale face on my lap. Faye. I do not move, even when the Marchen walls come into existence around me. The place is devoid of its usual warmth. Delora! She's not responding. I fight down the rising grief and try to remain calm as I turn to Parfait. Please, save her. Save her! Parfait glances down at Delora, eyes glassy. It is as if she is hiding emotions behind a frigid mask. I feel that her mask is a reflection of my own. Any moment now it will fall away and I will be able to see her tears.
Princess, the spell that Hildur used was a powerful one. There's nothing I can do.
The air in the Marchen seems to leave all at once. No, that's not true! You have to... Lucette. Delora? She does not move, and her eyes are still closed as she speaks. Lucette. I'm sorry, but I can't stay. No, don't say that! I've been lucky. Hildur took my Lorea, but I got you in return. I like to think that my daughter would have grown up to be someone like you. Delora! I believe in you, Lucette. I have always believed in you. You cannot leave, Delora. I won't let you leave. Though Delora's body does not move, I can feel the energy of her body slip through my fingers like sand. Her body slowly begins to fade away until only specks of glittering golden dust remain. Oh, sheesh. So Parfait had to watch Delora die this time. A terrible, prickling cold seeps into my heart and chest. Then the frigidness envelops my whole body. I cannot breathe. It is only when a teary-eyed Parfait pulls me into a hug that I realize my throat is raw, and that I have been screaming in grief. Oh, man. This has been a really hard route to read through. I've just been crying. Oh, we're in Rumpel's room. I do not remember being tucked into bed. In the silence of the dark night, I can feel the absence of Delora like a hole in my chest. Sleepless hours tick by in a haze until the morning sun creeps through the window.
Lucette, you didn't get any sleep, did you?
I shake my head.
I wish I could give you time to grieve.
She died protecting me. I cover my face with my hands, and hot tears that I thought had dried begin pouring from my eyes again. Both of them, Garland and Delora, died because of me. This is my fault. If only I was strong enough, I could have...
No, Princess. If it is anyone's fault, it is mine.
Both Delora and Parfait keep owning up to this blame, but do either of them deserve any of it?
Your mother and I were like sisters once. I couldn't bring myself to hurt her. Because of that, I didn't act in time to save her from the Tenebrum's corruption. If you're seeking to blame anyone, blame me. I am responsible for all of this needless pain, all because I could not stop Hildur. I was too afraid, and now I'm too weak.
But what could you have done? Mother is... I don't think anything can stop Mother.
The Luces and the Tenebrarum are inextricably linked to each other and to their bearers. The crystallum cannot exist without each other. If one is destroyed, so is the other.
What are you saying?
We can stop Hilda if we destroy the Luces. That would destroy the Tenebrarum as well.
Parfait, that's insane.
This world has suffered from magic for 3 centuries. Maybe it is more bad than good. Perhaps the only solution is to remove the source of it forever.
But Mother only survived because she was the Tenebrarum bearer. She lives so long as the Tenebrarum exists. If the Tenebrarum is destroyed...
Hilda should die.
But you're suggesting we destroy the Tenebrarum through destroying the Luces? Parfait smiles at me, but I find no comfort in it.
I will only say it's my time.
You cannot be serious. There has to be another way. There has already been so much suffering. Delora and Garland did not die, so you would have to give up your life as well.
I'm not saying we make a decision now. After what happened with Varg, I have strengthened the Marchen's defenses and added a glamour. For now, we are safe here. Breakfast will be ready soon. Join us when you're able. The others will need to know what happened last night.
There must be another way to stop Mother. There has to be. By the time I make it to the dining area, the food is cold. I am not surprised by the state of the food, but seeing Waltz in a grown-up body is definitely shocking in all the best ways. Hey, handsome.
Oh, Princess.
Waltz quickly makes his way over toward me and kneels down. He looks almost like a knight, though he is lacking the armor.
Thank you for breaking my curse.
At least I was able to do something good, but still.
Princess.
I do not notice the tears rolling down my cheeks until he calls my title softly.
Oh, what's this? Waltz the Pig has made the princess cry?
Waltz the Pig. No, it isn't Waltz. Delora believed I could accomplish 3 good deeds, and yet I...
You like hot chocolate, right, darling?
I'll get the mugs.
Gently, Waltz leads me to a bench and sits next to me. Parfait hasn't told them what happened to Delora yet. All of them are smiling at me, trying to cheer me up, but how can I possibly smile now? I need to tell you all something.
Hot chocolate first, talking later. You look pale, like you didn't sleep at all last night. And have you even eaten recently?
Now that I think about it, no, I haven't. Rod, who I hadn't even realized was back at the Marchen, stiffly stands up from his chair and walks away. Oh, Rod. He was here this whole time, just listening quietly in the corner. Did I say something wrong? Walt smiles at me as he pats my shoulder.
We sent a niece off to look after Jurian, so it's just us at the Marchen. Rod's been taking care of meals, so he's probably going to get you something to eat.
Rod? But why? Rod has never liked me.
You saved his family from Varg, Princess. I doubt he minds cracking a few eggs for you.
Rod comes back into the room and places utensils and a plate in front of me. It is filled with toast and scrambled eggs. Thank you.
I know it's not much, but you need to eat.
I have no appetite, but he is right. I pick up my fork and stab a few eggs to try. This is good. Thank you. Ah, the smiles.
No problem.
Suddenly, I'm incredibly aware of how famished I am. I shovel the rest of the food into my mouth eagerly. I'm eating the last remnants of my toast when Rumpel comes back into the room holding far too many mugs for one person to manage.
And now I present to you hot chocolate a la Rumpel.
Waltz jumps up to save the several mugs from Rumpel's precarious hold.
Ah, hot chocolate. How lovely.
I knew this would happen, so I made plenty.
Waltz and Rumpel place the mugs on the table. Rumpel counts all of them.
5, 6, wait. Where's Lady Delora?
The fork I am holding clatters to the plate. It is the only sound in the suddenly quiet room.
Delora passed away last night.
What?
The atmosphere shifts. Everyone is openly frowning, their eyes filled with regret.
So the night ended up being a turncoat after all.
Fritz had nothing to do with it. Fritz helped Delora get to me just when Mother was going to take Neverland. We would have all made it out alive if Mother hadn't used her magic to summon Varg. Mother was going to erase all my memories again, and I did not know what to do, so I just stood there. It was just like what happened with Garland. And now Delora is dead because of me. I cover my face with my hands as a too familiar grief bubbles up inside of me.
Delora made a choice to protect you, Lucette, just like Garland made his choice to protect Jurian. The only thing we can do now is make sure their sacrifices weren't in vain.
Here.
Waltz gently pushes a mug toward me.
If there's one thing Delora taught us, it's that hot chocolate makes almost everything better.
I stare at the mug and remember the last time I had hot chocolate with Delora. I would never have thought the drink I shared with her so many days ago would be the last. I bite my lip to keep myself from crying.
So what do we do now?
The plan hasn't changed. We still need to stop Hildur and save the king. But how is the question?
Waltz's voice is quiet.
Lady Parfait.
Does he know what Parfait plans to do?
You know as well as I do that there's only one way now, Waltz.
Parfait quickly explains what she told me about destroying the Lucis to destroy the Tenebrarum.
But if we do so by destroying the Lucis, you will die. I refuse to let that happen, Lady Parfait.
Delora sacrificed her life to have Princess Lucette bring back Neverland, and now you're telling us that was useless, and that there is no other way? If any of you have an alternative, please tell us. I don't want to lose any more of you over my mistake.
But we cannot lose you either. I have a suggestion.